Why most people quit too early at literally everything they try. And no, I'm not just talking about quitting a hobby or skipping the gym for a week. I'm talking about the stuff that actually matters. Your goals, your grind, and your whole life trajectory. Because here's the truth. Most people quit because they've been trained to chase instant results. The whole modern day dopamine diet. If it's not fun, if it doesn't feel rewarding or stimulating immediately, then, well, they'll bail. And I get it, right? Our brains are wired to avoid pain and seek pleasure. It's basic biology, but success, mastery, and actual growth is quite literally the opposite of instant gratification. It's about doing the hard shit over and over for longer than your brain wants to allow before anything meaningful even shows up. Think about literally anything that you ever admired. Any athlete, entrepreneur, any artist, just any high performer, right? None of them got there by going, yeah, I tried it for a week, didn't feel too good, I'm out, right? No, they kept going. They pushed through the grind, through the failure, through the boredom. We've all heard this before. This is basic advice. And the real pain, right, that most people see them at the peak, at the highlight, right? Then they think that it just happened. But no, that's hundreds, even thousands of hours of invisible work put in that no one sees, and most people quit long before even reaching that stage. I remember trying to get really good with calisthenics. The first month was kind of shit, right? The results were very minimal. Honestly, I almost quit. My brain was just telling me, why bother? Like, this isn't fun. You're not seeing results. But I chose not to quit, right? I kept showing up. I kept doing the movements. I didn't find it fun at first, but every small victory would compound. Every small win would stack on each other. And the point is that compounding effect, it won't happen if you fold at the first sign of difficulty. I mean, this is the pattern that I see over and over. People start strong, right? They feel motivated. They feel like, yeah, this is my thing, and then life hits, reality sets in, effort gets pretty shit, and they quit. But it is avoidable. And the lesson in this is that if you quit too early, you're basically just guaranteeing mediocrity. You're essentially sending a signal to your brain that discomfort should tell you to stop. And the world doesn't reward people who quit. It rewards people who persist. Another angle that most people don't think about, quitting doesn't just kill progress. It kills confidence as well, because confidence isn't something innate that you're born with. Confidence is built by showing up when you don't feel like it, by pushing through boredom, failure, frustration. Every time you quit, you're essentially training yourself to be weak, to be dependent on your own mood, to determine your effort. And if you ever want to live a life of freedom, a masculine life of freedom, mastery, or respect, then, well, that's not going to do it for you. So then how do you stop yourself, in this sense, from quitting too early? Well, first, you have to reframe your relationship with discomfort and pain. Learn to see it as a signal that you are on the right path. Any worthwhile skill, project, or goal, it's going to be painful to have to push through. It's going to be uncomfortable, that grind, whatever the fuck you want to call it. But that discomfort is literally your brain and body reshaping to allow for growth. Don't run from it, right? Just lean into it. Second, you have to embrace consistency over inspiration or motivation, because motivation's a liar, right? It comes and goes, but habits and systems and rigidity and schedules, those will stick. Decide that showing up is non-negotiable, regardless of how you feel in the moment, because that's how success is actually built. That's how compounding happens. And thirdly, understand the long game. Most people quit because they are obsessed with short-term validation, instant gratification. They want results now. They want recognition now. They want to feel good immediately, but life does not work that way. Real achievement and actual freedom, skill, well, they all require time. You have to be willing to outlast your discomfort, or else, well, it won't work out for you. And look, I get it. This is hard. Life is hard. Fucking cry about it, right? Doing things nobody else wants to do is hard, but that's exactly why it works. The people who quit early, they get stuck and they will never succeed, but the people who persevere will win. And it's not even luck, it's just a choice. It's a choice of putting in the effort and skill. Every day you decide to keep going, you are building a version of yourself that cannot be ignored, that cannot be outworked, and cannot be stopped. So the takeaway then is stop quitting, right? Stop chasing the easy, comfortable wins. Stop caring about what feels good in the moment. Because if you want to be exceptional, if you want to actually experience freedom, you need to embrace work. You need to embrace the boring, the struggle, the pain, right? And you have to do it consistently at that too, not just embrace it, but do it consistently. Because the only thing that's worse than failure, in my opinion, is quitting too early and never knowing what you could have actually achieved.